for bullshit, no time. Free real, he'll be back in no time. Get money, flip bricks in no time. Dex tripping on the bitch, no time. Amount of time I got for bullshit, no time. Free real, he'll be back in no time. Get money, flip bricks in no time. Dex tripping on the bitch, no time. Get money, get dollars, bruh. Scrooge McDuck, bang, don't misuse your luck. Fuck the income, I do it for the outcome. I'm in it for the long run. Think about it, then hit the weed, think about it. Like Gutter say, nigga, we gon' see about it. My nigga just got hit, I'm waiting on the word. I pray to God he pulled through for the family's sake. For the family.
So now, you on your way to prison for the first time.
On the way for the first time, man. And like I went to Orlando, the reception center there, and you know, it was my first time, so I'm not gonna lie. When I was in county, you know, you hear all these crazy stories. Now I'd already been to programs, so I already knew it gets crazy. But you know, so I get there and I'm expecting that. And honestly, man, like adult prison compared to the programs was a lot more laid back. And I say that now because I ended up at a suite camp my first.
Okay.
So I went to Orlando. I went to the East Unit. And I became a permanent there, which is like a reception center, but they have permanent dorms. So I was there, and you know, I saw some shit in there, but nothing like crazy. I always hear people tell their prison stories, and they have all this crazy shit that happened in a year, and I'm just like I saw some crazy shit, like, you know, people got locked, but people got stabbed up. But nothing like crazy until I went to my second bid. And that's where it got crazy. So I was in prison there. When I was in Orlando, now I'm close to home.
Okay.
I'm in Tampa. It's an hour and a half away. So my girl was coming up and bringing dope. So the whole time I'm in there, I'm going to visitation. I'm grabbing the dope. I worked at an outside work squad. So she had a drop spot. So then I'd pay someone to boot it in through the gate. And I just sold pills my whole time that prison bid. And I ended up coming home with like $5,000, which isn't a lot, but when you're
in prison, it is.
Yeah.
And when you're fresh out, having 5,000 in your pocket is better than zero.
Yeah, that's
just the gate money.
Got that starter kit.
That's a car. Or if you're still in the life, that's a pistol and a sack.
Yeah, exactly, man. And that's what happened. I got out and got right back into the life. And, you know, in the process, my friend, we were at a fight at a bar. We left. When we left, the dudes we fought got in the car, followed us, rammed the car we were in, pulled up beside us and unloaded 2 Glocks in the side of the car and killed my friend 9 times.
May he rest, man. Damn.
And luckily I wasn't hit. I was in the back seat under the fucking front seat trying to hide during the blitz. So so it's just crazy shit. You know, when you're in that life, man, you're always around the craziness.
Yeah, when you're in the life, whatever comes, it's coming. It's coming.
For sure. 100. So eventually, I caught 3 new sales and delivery charges.
Okay.
Got the same attorney. They caught me with crack, but it was so little when they finally got me the day they arrested me that by the time we took it to the lab and they ran their tests on it, it broke it down so much there was barely nothing. So I got that dropped. And then I had the possession of cocaine because that was crack. I actually had cocaine. And then I had possession of Xanax and possession of oxycodone. And then a chick that used to go to Miami to model, she was hooked on pills. So she called me. I would sell her a lot of pills. You know what I'm saying? And one day she called me and she's like, I don't have the money now. I'm going down to Miami to do a photo shoot. But when I get back, I'll shoot you that money for the pills. So I front her the pills. Well, boom, she comes back. I don't hear from her. So I go to her house and I'm like, yo, where's my money? And she was like, oh, you know, this, you know, all the excuses they got, right? So I was like, all right, well, boom. I grabbed a camera. I grabbed her watch. I forget what else she had. And I'm like, all right, so when you got my money, I'm going to give you this stuff back. But until then, this shit's mine. So I took it right when, like, literally 12 hours later, the cops are arresting me for grand theft. She called the cops on me.
Oh, wow.
Said I stole her shit.
Right.
So now I got 3 possessions. I was out on bond for that, caught a grand theft. Boom, they arrested me, yank all my bonds.
Oh.
So I get the same attorney. I've been sitting in there again, probably for almost another year. And then finally get sentenced again to 18 months state. So then I go back up the road, but this time I go into the panhandle of Florida.
Okay.
So I don't know.
That's the top, right?
Yeah, that's like the armpit of Florida.
Okay.
So I don't know if a lot of your viewers know, but in Florida, that's the last place you want to go because up there they got, you know, all the rednecks. They all are related. The officers, they're all inbred.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's, and then they're KKK, all that shit's up.
Shit.
Yeah, so I end up at Gulf CI, and that's really where the savageness in my prison story started. So within 2 weeks of getting there, I'm in a dorm. Obviously, they move a guy into the dorm, and I don't know about you, but for me, like I can feel vibes from people. You know what I'm saying? Like I know just by talking to someone for a minute and watching them on how they move with other people, like they're either a piece of shit or they're all right. And this dude came off as a piece of shit. Well, come to find out, he was a booty bandit. So in Florida, I don't know if they're labeled that in Cali.
Oh no, they are.
Yeah. So you know what it is. Like he's hunting booty 24/7, trying to put down on little white boys. Anyone that'll, you know, give it to him, he'll take it, and he's good with that.
Yeah.
So they ended up moving this dude next to the bunk right next to me. So they're all, you know, they're all over there, all the punks, and I'm just like, man, I can't do this. Like this is my house, and I'm not listening to all that shit. Like that's just not, I'm not living like that. And so one day he was known for gunning, and I'm sure you guys have that too. Yeah. So the lady came around for master count, the officer. She did her rounds. We're the last 2 bunks to get counted. And while the other officer goes into the other dorm through the officer station, she kind of looks in on our dorm still. So, but she's like off in the cut, but you can still see her, but she's watching him through the window, making sure the other officer's straight. So, I roll over. They tell us to relax. They counted our dorm so we can relax. Just lay on our bunk until they clear count. So I'm on the wall. So I just roll over and face the wall, and you know I'm just laying down chilling until they call count so I can get a shower and you know get ready for the night. So it's quiet in the dorm, and I'm hearing like this like laughing or commotion. So I roll over facing his bunk, and dude is literally with his feet on my front porch. So on my side of where my box is and shit. And he's spread eagle with his pants down to his ankles, gunning the officer right when I roll over. So immediately I got up and I put my shoes on, and I'm like, bro, listen, I'm not on that shit. Like this is where I sleep, and that shit ain't fitting to go down like that. So you need to tighten me up. So he's like, oh, well, I've been down 15 years. This is how I'm living. And I'm like, all right, well, this is how I'm living. And boom, started taking off on him. So that went on. You know how prison fights are. They're pretty short. Yeah. So that went on. We tussled. I mean, I didn't straight like beat the fuck out of him, but I won. You know what I'm saying? And so the officers come in, boom, spray us. And then, you know, they take him to medical because he had a cut. And they take me, they're walking me to confinement. And as I'm walking to confinement, the warden happened to be on the compound. And this is how racist they are up there, the officers. So he comes up to me and he's like, what's up, man? You an AB? And I'm like, nah, man, I'm not an AB. Like, you know what that is, right? Yeah. So he's like, whoa, the officers that were escorting me to confinement were telling him what happened as we're sitting there. And he's like, well, you did a good thing. You didn't let that dude gun my woman officer, right? Because they hate gunners up there. Right. So I go to confinement. Now, dude gets brought back into confinement. Well, when we're in confinement, everybody, he's known on this compound because he's been there like 10, 12 years. This has been 3 weeks for me. So they're all talking shit to him through the vent and through the door. Oh, you let that white boy beat you up, da da da. Look at your face and shit. You know how it is.
Oh yeah.
So I'm thinking in my head, like when we get out of confinement, it's round 2 because he's gonna feel some type of way.
Facts.
So boom, I did like 60 on that, 20 on AC or DC they call it, and then you do your straight confinement time after you get sentenced.
Okay.
And when we got out the same day. So when we're in the T building in confinement, like I'm just looking at him like, bro, what's up? Like if we're gonna go at it, let's not wait to get outside the door. Let's do it here. Then we just go right back into the cell and do our next confinement bid. So he was like, nah, man, like, I get it, bro. Like, all right, I'm cool, man. Everything's squashed. So boom, we go back to our dorms. But in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, he's playing that shit on me right now. But once he gets back, he's been here 10 years. He's going to get his boys. And then, when I'm not looking. So it ended up not happening. Thank God. Because,
nobody wants that.
Yeah, I don't go looking for. Never went looking for issues, man. I was never trying to put down on people. I didn't like that shit when I saw it. You know what I'm saying? So,
but you still got to do what you got to do to survive.
Exactly, bro. When shit gets real in the battlefield, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So, and then I ended up staying at that camp, Gulf Annex. Ended up getting into another fight, and that was just over some. Hey man, let me get 2 soups until my money hit. I'm like, all right, bro, you got money, right? And he's like, yeah, boom, give him 2 soups. Well, 2 days later, goes to the canteen window, comes back with a $75 bag and walks right by me. So I'm like, yo, like, what's up, man? Where are the soups? Don't play me like that. And so he was like, oh, you gave me those soups. So bam, I'm like, all right, here we go again. Cause like, once you let one person play you, and all his boys see it or your boys see it, they're like, oh, that dude right there, he's sweet. You know what I mean? So we got in a fight again. I went to confinement. And while I was in confinement, there was a lot of shit going on in there as far as the corruption shit goes. Like you go to confinement at Gulf CI and you're caught gunning, and they're coming in with the camera on, and they're going to shut the camera off because they're supposed to record it. And then they're spraying you with mace. They're leaving you in there for 2 hours, which that Black Jesus was what was going on then. And that shit's no joke. Like, so they were literally, I mean, after I left, some dudes died in that confinement, that block, because of how they do it up there. It's just, I'm sure, I don't know if it's like that in Cali, man. But
that's what started the cameras in the first place. People were dying because during cell extractions. So, now they have to bring over here. That's what started making them have to bring cameras, because they come in there with a fire extinguisher and leave you in there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So that was all going on in confinement. Every other day I'm wrapping my face up with my shirt so I don't feel that mace coming through the vents. And there was a blood that like got into some shit with his own gang. And ended up stabbing him like 50 times at the phone while he's on the phone with like his people. This was out of confinement, but I'm just like we were walking to chow like this, like every other month with the whole compound on lockdown because of, gang wars. The booty bandit shit will get wild too, because they'll fight over another man's booty. Like,
damn.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So that bid right there was when I was like, because the first bid I was at a sweet camp. I was making money, doing my thing. And then now this bid I'm at right now. And I'm just like, man, this is not the spot, bro. Like, this is not how I want.
And you're in the panhandle. You hella far away.
Yeah, and I'm hella far away. I only got one visit the whole time, which I don't even know how they made that happen because it's a far drive.
Right.
So that's really where I was like, you know what, man? Like, this is not the life I want to lead, man. Like, so I got out with that mentality and still messed up. But luckily, man, like, and this may sound like pie or whatever, but I met a good girl, man. Like, I was always used to the girls that were like, how much of that are you giving me? And why are you higher than me? I want that too. Or, I need this, that, and the other, but never brought anything to the table but some scandalous ass, hoish ass ways, man. So, I met a good girl when I was in golf, my parents, well, not my parents, but my grandparents sent me corresponding classes. So I became a certified personal trainer. I got my exercise science degree. So,
good shit.
So now when I got out, fucked up, met the new girl, I was like, you know what? Like, I need to do something with my life, man. And so I started working at a gym, and I became like really good, like a personal training sales manager, more into the sales, because, you know, people that have been to prison got that talk game.
Oh,
right?
yeah, you can talk. You can sell ice to an Eskimo.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. And, you know, within 4 or 5 years, working a good job,
Right.
I'm now currently a homeowner, which in my life,
Congratulations.
I never thought, yeah, thanks.
Yes,
bro.
sir.
I never thought that would be possible. So, and then now to get to where we're at today.
Yes, sir.
So about a year ago, I started going down the wormhole on YouTube, right?
Okay.
Like clients, I just like.
Okay, hold on.
For the family's sake, I spray like a can of paint. Paint a picture with my words, nigga, elevate. Real nigga, bro, I love when the suckers hate. That just means I'm doing something right anyway. Amount of time I got for bullshit, no time. Free real, he'll be back in no time. Get money, flip bricks in no time. Dex tripping on the bitch, no time. Amount of time I got for